President Trump's visit to Asia is going to be dramatic. He's likely going to have strong requests for allies and partners and adversaries within the region. But it's symbolic of, I think, of a new America that's less focused on free trade. It's focused on transactional diplomacy, and it's focused on rebalancing bilateral relations with allies as well as competitors. The APEC members would be very happy if President Xi and President Trump were able to have a bilateral meeting. Whether they talk about trade or not, that's a different story, but they would like this relation to stabilize. They would like the US and China to talk much more and find ways to return to the strategic security and economic dialogue that characterized relations before the first Trump administration stopped them. China's economy is moved probably towards stagnation across the board at an aggregate level, and it's not in the strong of a position as I think that its leadership may be publicly voicing. And in that sense, how does China stop the bleeding? How does the United States move back to a position where they can have economic benefits but in a position of dominance really is the question. I don't think either is ready to compromise on their core issues, and that means we're only likely to see a short-term pause in the trade war before they move to the next level of putting pressure on each other to try to get a better outcome in terms of trade. Taiwan represents still a very critical part of the global economy. It's an international public good in terms of semiconductors and providing those advanced semiconductors for planes and trains and fridges, but most importantly in technology, AI and quantum computing, which is, I think, the real center of competition between the US and China. If Mr. Trump would like to outcompete China and have a strong economy, it needs Taiwan to maintain the status quo across the Taiwan Straits. So ambiguity is probably what Mr. Trump will do. This is probably enough for Beijing and Xi Jinping if a sense that the status quo will be maintained rather than moving the dial on Taiwan's status. President Trump's starting position is comprehensive, verifiable, irreversible denuclearization. There will be no meeting. But if the meeting is about a peace agreement, if the meeting is about finding a way to engage in arms control rather than complete denuclearization, there may be a possibility for President Trump to have a meeting with President Kim Jong-un. I think the chances are even higher if President Xi and President Trump don't meet, because President Trump will need to have some kind of take-home in the American context to say that the visit to Northeast Asia was worth it, and that he was engaged in, as he says, solving his 8th war or 9th war. I think that they're aligned in terms of economic security, and that means supply chain diversification, that means dealing with alternative semiconductor supply chains, it means working on food security and generally deleveraging from the liabilities that are associated with being part of the Chinese production network. In terms of immigration, we know Takichi has very strong views about illegal migration. She's likely to praise President Trump's approach to illegal migration on the southern border. So there's a lot of alignment in terms of their policies, but I think the appearance of conservative alignment. He's visiting Malaysia, and Malaysia has become, I think, a hot spot in Southeast Asia to try and demonstrate that the United States is committed to Southeast Asia, but he's coming at a time after the peace agreement, the tentative peace agreement between Israel and Hamas over the Palestinian territories. And I think this timing is not, it's not a mistake because the United States' reputation has really taken a beating in Malaysia and Indonesia because they have a very, very big Muslim community, and they've been very critical of the U.S.'s position on Gaza. So visiting Malaysia is meant to restart that relationship and find ways to cooperate on rare earth materials.